Hello and welcome to Life Clarifications with Natasha. And I got to get my water here. Sorry, moved my computer here a few minutes ago. So I didn't move my water. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Life Clarifications with Natasha. I'm here to help you to negotiate some of your things in life. And on today's show, I am going to talk about some specific things. And one of those is that I am noticing a lot of people are going through life altering experiences. They're going through some many stressful moments. And I wanted to bring out some awarenesses here because of the fact that I have gone through so much in my life that has been actually blessings in disguise. So with that, I wanted to let people know that as you're going through life and things happening in your life, that we all get triggered, and many a times in relationships we try to be something that we're not. And that's the thing that hi on Instagram. I'm live here on Instagram, Facebook, and then again on Twitter and my YouTube channel. So if you are on any of those, please, if you like what you're hearing, see my videos and a lot of my posts that I do, please like or subscribe or whatever you want to do there. So thank you very much for being here. So with that I wanted to let you know that we're all going through life altering experiences. And many of us are very much struggling to let people know that we're going places and we're going doing things, and yet when we're doing all that stuff we try to appease the ones around us, right? We try to make sure that we are those around us. So today's show I wanted to kind of talk about how to be ourselves in the midst of trying to make things happen, trying to survive the things that we're going through. I know that, like those over in Uruguay, I mean, not Uruguay, oh God, you're over in Russia and Ukraine. There we go. Sorry, it's been a day for me too. So, we're all kind of going through something. It's all been great. I mean, I feel very blessed, but when you're called to do many things and wear different hats, sometimes you stay in that moment. So, keep your good work on. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So with that, we're all going through something. And when you're going through life altering experiences, like I've said before, that like over in Ukraine, that my love goes to them, going through that struggles, and even people of Russia who don't want to be doing that. They want to back their country, but then they don't always agree with it. Just like over in the US here, we don't always agree with what's going on in the government either, but we're all here to do what we're supposed to do. But how can we stay our truer selves while we're going through those life altering moments and experiences? Well, you know, I've lived with a man who I love dearly now, more than ever I have before. And he has been now sober for over 10 years now. And during those years that he wasn't, I really tried to appease him. He's a perfectionist. He was in depression. He had an anger management drinking problem. And so with that, sometimes to keep peace, sometimes I was one um, who just tried to make him happy. Well, I got lost in the mix until I really started figuring out that I had to still be me in order to make us work. Now, married 30 years, grateful for that, we're going forward. But the more that I stayed myself, the more I claimed me in a positive way, not in a selfish way. And I want to make that clear, in a kind, giving way, that we became more in partnership. But I had to remember that I was me. And many of us lose who we are. And we forget that there's this dance of give and take in a relationship. And I know that I've covered this in other shows that I've done and other videos that I've done. But the thing is though that when we're going through those life altering experiences, it's really interesting to stay being ourselves. And the dance of oh, what's the word I want to use, universe? That, me being a psychic medium, me being a personal awareness life coach, me being someone who communicates with many levels. I was given this definition by a friend of mine, a bridge between worlds and dimensions. And, that's true me because I can do animal communication. But finding out how much, that even like when my husband gets a little bit upset, my dog goes and hides on her bed just because she's so attuned to the voice change of the people and the energies around her. And it was interesting how that really, when we started to try to go ditter back and forth, because how in a relationship can you not have some kind of mishap, misunderstanding or miscommunication, right? Well, in the ebb and flow of this relationship, that when our voices started to raise up, my dog would kind of go, wait a minute, guys, and she'd go hide on the bed, and we would both look at her and go, okay, which would bring it back to what is it that we truly want to say. And that's the thing is that when we're in this ebb and flow of life altering experiences, the more that we go outside, we start reacting, we start, you know, doing those things that are reactionary, that we end up getting outside of ourselves. We start being somebody who we're not truly, and we lose track of what we really want to say. So with that going forward, sometimes we have to take that breath. Sometimes we have to take that time in the car. We have to take that time to remember what is our true wants, what is our true desires. And many a times when we're going into the process of wanting to have a relationship, we put on our best face, right? When we're first starting a relationship, we put on that first face, the fresh face of this is me, this is what I am, I feel like I'm totally in control. But the more that we're in control, the more we're out of control. A lot of times when we present totally in control, we're totally out of control, right? So with that, we're not always showing our better selves. But the thing is though, like I've been watching a little bit of the catfishes. There's a on MTV here, there's this show called Catfish, and I noticed that there was a theme going on, that these people, wanted to meet people, right? But then they put on a different person's picture. They went under a pseudo name, and then when they finally met, because through Catfish, you meet up, they go, well, I've been talking as myself. What I said was truly me. But at the same time, though, they couldn't present themselves as who they were. And that's sad. That's sad that we many times have to put a persona on to try to think we have to impress someone, as I'm doing quotation marks around, impress someone. Well, we don't have to impress anybody really, because if somebody's going to like us, they're going to like us. And I can tell you, the more that I've become myself, the more that I have people where, is this my tribe or this is not my tribe? Now, I have people at work that I'm friendly with, but I'm not necessarily friends with. Even though they love me, they know me, they cherish me, they totally respect and honor me. But am I the people? Am I their people? Not necessarily. And it's hard sometimes when we are uniqueness like me, where I see dimensions and worlds, I see purposes, I see the bigger picture, that sometimes I don't always swim with with the with the same way people are thinking, who are out wanting to drink and wanting to party and wanting to do this and that, and take me to some place to dance and have fun, and everybody else can get drunk while we're dancing, and I'll be the safe drive home. So with that, there is ways to negotiate this, but stay your truer self. Stay that truer self. Because if we try to push things under the rug, we try to push ourselves under the rug, we're gonna lose that part of us that is the reason why we're here on this earth. And that thing that we're here on this earth to be is us. To find that love for ourselves, to find the respect for ourselves, right? And when we're going through these traumas and these struggles, and we're going through a lot of these things that, um, and it's one of those things that going forward is not always easy. And Veronica, who's on Instagram, I mean on my um, YouTube channel. Thank you for watching me on my YouTube channel, Veronica. That I clapped last night like you suggested, and it helped. Thank you. So, like, I have this, other friend who has been struggling with energy, and so I suggested that when we're all wound up and struggling, that you clap around your head, right? And that really helps to create another energy around you. And when we're doing that, when we want to create a different energy around us, like today I was around a lot of energy, and you know and I had to persevere through a lot of different things. Did I smudge when I came home? No, but I did ring the bell in my car to help clear it. So thank you, Veronica, for you're somebody else who I had that conversation with. And so going forward in our life, that doing the struggles of life's challenges, you know slow down. And as I said that, there was a song, "Slow down, you move too fast." It's like it's an older '70s song. Gonna take the morning. It's one of those songs that you just kind of go, okay, go slower. Because when we get into reactionary mode, when we get into this story of reaction, and we get into, oh, I got to do this to make sure things stay happy. I can't leave this person, can't leave me. I have to become this and I have to become that. Well, when we get into that dance of this and that, we lose who the reason why people wanted to be with us. What was the reason why we can have at dinner sometimes when we meet somebody a conversation, and have it last for 3 hours? It was because we were us. We were our person. We were going to be who we were going to be, not necessarily. And we change. Now, that's the thing. Another thing I wanted to talk about, kind of in this stance of, we do change over time. We do. I know that, like I was talking to somebody several days ago, that they go, I'm not necessarily in this relationship anymore because we've changed so much. Well, I know over my 30 years of marriage, I've had to reinvent. We've had to reinvent many ways of how to be together with someone. Well, does that mean that I'm supposed to stay with this person all the time? No, it doesn't. But then at the same time, though, the more that I became myself, the more we found that we had togetherness. And that's the thing, it's hard to know whether to stay in a relationship or to go, and that's a personal choice. As much as I wanna read that and give somebody advice that way, that's a personal choice. What can you put up with? What can you do? The thing is, though, go back to what makes you shine. What brings you joy? What brings you that moment? And as we change in life, we're not the same person at 24 that we are at 34 or 44, right? We're not necessarily the same person, but what we can do is we can take those parts of us that stay that core part of us. And when we're that core part of us, and that we know it's a core part of us because it's something that stays there. It's that norm, it's a thing. And sometimes it's not always pretty, right? It's not always pretty, but we can't fault ourselves for what we did in the past. But what we can do is honor what we are because of it staying with us. Like me not being a morning person. I'm not my better. And sometimes I do a little video in the morning and I'm puffy and I'm just a little bit, I'm not necessarily a morning person, but I try to be the same me. In other words, I'm not mean. I hate to be cruel. But sometimes I don't put words together in the morning. Sometimes I'm not totally myself. Sometimes I'm not totally awake. Sometimes I'm not totally here on this planet either, right? And so that's where sometimes but I'm not cruel. And so if I was upset one day in the morning and barked at somebody, they would know that there's something wrong. But I'm staying my truer self, and that's the thing, that as we go through life and being on our story of life, that there isn't going to be something there's going to be something that always triggers us to try to be somebody that we're not. And when we're doing that, the story is not necessarily to be someone better. We can always shift up and be somebody better. Like for me, I when I was younger, up until my mid 20s, I was very shy and quiet. You wouldn't catch me doing this show at all. You wouldn't catch me doing what I'm doing. The thing is, though, that going forward, that I have found that shy quiet part of me really gives me grace. It really gives me innocence towards who I'm working with, who I'm talking with. That shy, quiet person, still gives me a breath before I jump in with 2 feet, right? Because I'm not necessarily, I think during COVID, a lot of us learned that you know, we're passive aggressive, we're integrators. We're what's the word? That we're not partiers, we're not outward people, we're more inward. We don't mind being who we are on the inside, but showing it on the outside is a little bit harder. But that's where, you get people who, as we get older, you watch like an 80-year-old, it's like, hey, I wish I could be like them, not caring, because they're truly themselves, because they've learned over time that the more that they try to fit into somebody else's shoes, they're not necessarily fitting in their own shoes, you know? And that's a perspective. And I wish that I would have brought my husband's book with me, because there was a statement, and I actually put it on the post of this show. And I was going to grab that book, but then here my dog, it's very smoky here. We got a lot of forest fires, and so it's really smoky. So I didn't spend time on outside with my dog, and so she was really needing some outside time. But it's that shifting and changing, because I know that a lot of us have covered up a lot of our um, our being by taking drugs, smoking, drinking, and when we were doing those scenarios, we weren't necessarily ourselves. And then we got into relationships with somebody, right? And during that time that we were drinking and smoking and drugging, we were somebody else. And then when we decided to get sober, when decided to get there again is the time that it takes to become our truer selves. Because I know for a fact that my husband isn't necessarily who he was when I married him, right? He's now sober. And the sobriety of 10 years has given him a lot of more interaction than reaction, where when he was drinking, he was full blown reactionary. And when we're doing that, but being ourselves, that come back to yourself, come back to your truer self. Because I can tell you, every time that we get to have to put on a front, now we can be different people. Like for me, like my morning job where I'm at an elementary school, I am Natasha, but I'm Natasha Venter paraeducator, right? And so I'm putting on that persona. I'm putting on someone who works with kids during campus safety, who says, stop talking now, right? And I have to have that voice. I have to have that voice that says roar, right? Sometimes. And other times I'm calm and I give a kid a hug who's needing a hug, right? And so I'm still me. Now here, I'm more intuitive. I'm more aware. I'm more awake. I'm more awareness towards what's happening, right? And so am I this person all the time? you know, kind of yes and kind of no, because if I was on, like a light bulb being on all the time, I would burn out. So I need to take that and tap it back a little bit. But that doesn't, I'm on the same page though. I just am a little bit more this in this place. I'm a little bit more that in that place. But I'm always me. I'm always me in the center. And that's where my hands are going in the middle here for those listening on a podcast, because I have podcasts. This will be on a podcast later. That, it's like you can be in the center, but there's parts of you that can rise. Now, let's say somebody who runs a business, they have to be more management, management, right? And if you're management, you have to be more focused in being in control. Well, can you be in control all the time? That's one thing that I feel like that sometimes police officers and judges and those and the lawyers and those people who are always on, they struggle with tuning that stuff down. Honor them for the job that they're on. They're doing a hard job trying to balance life and doing the right thing, but sometimes we stay on, and we have to come down. And that's where, like, I'm saying that there is a center part of staying who you are. Now, this job, you may have to go up a little bit, but come back down to center. Come back to the person who can put on their pajamas and be comfy at night, right? Be the person who can relax and be, and know that you don't have to be totally on all the time, but come back to be you. Because we can be talking to a coworker and be the personality of the person who has their comfy sweats on at night, right? Because of the fact that we can be relaxed. We can still be professional, but be relaxed. So being our truer selves is not always easy, but yet doing that balance of give and take, of this and that, and the more we try to show people who I'm going to show you who I am in a stand up type emotion of ego, doesn't always stay true. And then when we get into somebody's situation, it's harder to negotiate. But when we're in a relationship, when we're in coworker relationships, when we're in relationship with ourselves, and we got to look in that mirror and say, how can I be my truer self? How can I take a breath for a moment and be my truer self? And step back and be less in reaction. Be less in reaction, because the fact that going forward is not always easy. Now, I had this interesting dream last night that it really put me in perspective of bigger pictures in my life. And I feel like it's almost worthy of saying it here. So it was a dream. I'm going to make that clear. This was a dream. I'm cancel clearing, deleting this as happening, but it was one of those dreams that you wake up in a position. I know I didn't move from the position I was. So this dream is that I don't know what kind of accident I was in, but the accident made me totally paralyzed from the neck down. And being paralyzed from the neck down, I was in the hospital room and people were coming and saying they loved me, right? And then I was brought home and I laid in the bed and I had oxygen on and all that. But the one thing that I always knew inside myself, so laying in my bed, that I was in the position of laying on the bed. So in the dream, coming back to the dream, that I noticed laying in the bed that I was starting to move fingers, ever so slowly moving my fingers. And then I would move my toes ever so slowly in my dream, right? And I kept going and I kept telling myself, I need to go. I need to go through this. I need to go through this. I know that one day I'm going to be able to walk. I know I am, right? And so as this dream keeps going forward, that I ended up being in a chair, that I was able to move with electric, the electric thing. But everything else, I had a thing to keep my head. I had things to keep me going, but yet I can move to be able to move just a little bit of my arm, right, to get the electric chair moving forward, right? But I was starting to feel like I can move. So my arms started moving and I started doing more and I started doing more. And pretty soon I'm sitting in a regular wheelchair looking over to my electric chair. Not necessarily, and my electric chair was empty, but I was sitting in another chair, right? And I was able to get up and do something in the kitchen. I was able to get up and walk from here to the sink, let's say, or here to just little walks after a while, right? And then so my dream jumped a little bit further here, and I noticed that I was walking with a walker, right, in front of me. I was walking with a walker in front of me from the car to into a restaurant, right? Or I was walking from here to there, and I would be so tired after I did that that they would bring the wheelchair in and get me back out, right? Well, in this dream, I ended up being able to walk a little ways, right? And I didn't bring the wheelchair. I didn't bring a walker. I had people there. I had friends. I can't label who was around me friendship wise, but I know that I think my husband was in one of the scenes of this scenario. I don't know. I usually don't end up having people around that I know very well in my dreams. But in this dream, I was sitting at a chair, knowing that I had to walk back to where I was. I took a moment and thought about it. I'm really tired. I'm really tired. And this is a conversation I was having with myself. Nobody else knew how tired I was. They were talking and they were having fun and they were getting up and getting ready to go. And I just sat there thinking how tired I was in this dream. But I thought, I'm going to persevere. I'm going to persevere. And I'm going to tell you, that is something that is in me. That is one of my core things in real life is I persevere. So I ended up standing up and somebody noticed I wobbled a little bit and they go, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, I'm okay. I'll make it. I'll make it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it." And I started walking and I started walking. And I know that somebody reached up and put their arms through my arms, kind of like, "Hey, bud, let's go for a walk" type of feeling. But I ended up persevering and getting through. Now, when I woke up, I actually had to um, get myself moved out of that position because I was so plastered in my sleep in that position of laying flat on a bed. But isn't that the story of life that even though we may have accidents, even though may have situations, even though we may have these things that go on, but our true core self is going to be there. Our true core self is going to be in that moment of who we are. And I know for me that, people always said to me, everybody who knows me, who witnessed my life, they say, "Natasha, you may sit down for a few minutes when you get told something, but then you get right back up and you get back on doing it." And I did the same thing when my mom had Lou Gehrig's disease. 3 years later, my uncle had Lou Gehrig's disease, and I was caretaker to both of them. And this was after, so my dad passed away. 3 years later, my mom had Lou Gehrig's disease. 3 years later, my uncle had Lou Gehrig's disease. And I was the only child, only grandchild. I ended up having to take care of them. And so with that I persevered through that. I sat down and cried actually. But I got back up and I did. I got back up and did. So with that, then Veronica, she says on my YouTube channel here, "My husband used to love my smile. Now he says he hates going anywhere with me because I smile too much. I like to smile. That's me." Isn't that sad that somebody said that he likes somebody's smile and now he hates the smile? But I'm going to tell you, Veronica, the last thing you should do is stop smiling. Stop smiling. But I'm going to tell you, though, that sometimes in order to create something, and that this is a fine line, is that sometimes, like for me, I can be too buzzy for my husband. I can be too on. I can be too energetic. I can be too much. I have to sometimes tone myself down. Not change who I am, but just tone myself down because sometimes he's coming in from a long day's work. Sometimes they're somewhere else energetically and that kind of stuff. So I have to tone myself down. But I'm going to tell you, Veronica, the situation you're in, keep smiling. Now, you may want to smile a little bit more when you're not around him, but yet at the same time, smile because you matter. Smile because that's you. Smile because you're a light of this world. And I can tell you that for everyone, that if we start, and that's it. Thank you for that example, Veronica. My husband used to say, love my smile. Now he says he hates going anywhere with me because I smile too much. Thank you. That is a total expression of how I'm trying to do this conversation. That is the last thing you should do, is to stop smiling. And the smile can be on the face. Yes, we can have fake smiles. But if you smile in the heart, that is just showing that you care. And I can tell you, my husband almost did the same thing to me. But the thing that he has said to me now is that I've learned so much from you, babe. I've learned so much from you. And I would say, babe, sometimes you didn't like to hear a word I had to say. And he goes, no, but you showed me. You kept going and you kept showing me. And that's the thing is that, there's that saying that, actions speak louder than words. You know, who we are speaks louder than words. And like I said to a student the other day who was saying about how, their friends don't like them anymore. And they say that I've changed. And I go, well, consistency is going to teach people who you are. He goes, really? And I go, yeah. So do you think if somebody came up to you and said that I was mean, would you know I was mean knowing me? He goes, no, actually, you're really nice. I said, but I do have boundaries, right? He goes, oh, definitely. But you're nice. I said, so who you are, who you're staying consistently being, who you're maneuvering to be, stay that person, because there's going to be a time in our lives when people want to count on us, but yet can they, because they can't trust the vision that we are, the person that we are. And stay consistently you. Like you, Veronica, saying that statement, that aches me, that he is wanting to be that controlling. But you can't be his happy pill. If he's not happy, you can't be his happy pill. And that's probably why he doesn't like your smiles, because he's depressed. He's sad. He's very much unhappy with where he's at in his life, personal life, right? And we've had some conversation on the side, and it's really sad that these people are in our lives to shut us down when we're becoming more true ourselves. And that's the thing. Life is always going to challenge us. And sadly, a lot of times it's our persons that we're with. The persons that we're with are going to challenge us our most. They're going to bring out the shadows in us the most. And that's what's so sad. So know that no matter where you're at and where you're going, life is about becoming and being your truer self. Time will give us some experiences and lessons and movements, but be your truer self. Because the fact that no matter where we're at and what we're doing, life is about learning. And learning to love ourselves is the major point of being here on this planet, is how to love ourselves and our fellow man. So with that, know that no matter where you're at and what you're doing, life is worth being you, because personas can be used as little bits of here and take when you're in a situation. If you're at work, if you're having to be a boss of a job, if you're having to take control. But remember, some point in life, we have to come back to being that person who's in our pajamas or our comfy clothes at the end of the day, and be who we are, because that's what's important. That's truly what's important, is to show people that kinder person. And that's where we're going to be going in our life. And that's what's going to bring us our joys in our life. And that's who we're going to be becoming more of when we're looking for a mate. If we can be more our truer selves, it may take a little bit longer sometimes to trust that process, but we can find people that are that way, right? So blessings to you on this journey. So today, I'm feeling like this is a great segue to saying that, that if you're watching this and you really like it, please subscribe to the station that you're on. I'm also on YouTube, and I have lots of videos on my YouTube channel. And different categories on my YouTube channel. I have different shows, short videos. I have also Let's Get Tiggered, Not Triggered. Which I haven't posted there for a while, and I need to post there again. And, there's these different, and I'm doing mantra for the week. So check out the mantra for the week. And the mantra for this week is I'm asking my fear to step aside. And what that means is that sometimes fear wants to be up here, right? Because I don't want to go in that job interview. I don't think I'm qualified. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I'm so afraid that they're going to turn me down. Ask fear to step aside so that we can step forward and being our truer selves, right? Because you never know what's in that next job interview. It might be that person might say, oh, guess what? Just opened another position. And we think you're better for that one than we thought this one, right? So with that, I think right now it's time to do my card readings. So I do oracle card readings at the end of my show on Wednesday. And Veronica, I'm gonna, since you've been such a valued follower here, which card would you like? Uh, Gentle Creatures wants to come out again. That And then let's see, who else do you want, Veronica? Do you want Angel? Do you want Fairy? Do you want Dragon? Which one would you like, sweetie? And then if anybody else would like a card reading, what I do is oracle card readings, and what I do is I shuffle and then I pull a card for you. So on Instagram, if you're wanting an oracle card, please put out there for you. Let's see. Gonna do the Path of the Soul. Oh, Gentle Creatures. Okay. So I'm also going to do the Path of Soul, and these are cards that are really pretty, and they have messages. So I will read. Oh, look at that one. Isn't that pretty? I will read that. Oh, hi, Bev. Fairies. Okay, fairies. I will pull out the fairies for you. Gentle. I knew what you meant, Veronica. Okay, so Bev, thank you for being here. So Bev, I will pull out fairies. So Veronica, I will do you first. So for the Gentle Creatures here. So in that one road trip that I did on Monday's show, that the universe will be instigator, not a navigator. So remember that as we're working in life, going forward, that we're going to be instigated into doing certain things. Remember, being our truer self is important while doing that. So for you, Veronica. Okay, put the intention. I feel the calling that you're wanting. Let's see here. What's the card for Veronica? Stop, I hear. Top card, I hear. Daybreak. Daybreak for you, Veronica. Daybreak. And I think you keep getting the same cards, don't you, sweetie? Daybreak. There's things going on that keep circling around. Daybreak. Okay. Daybreak. Daybreak dawns as the adventurer prepare for another day. Birds take off to show them the way to today's journey. It is time to face a new set of challenges. They understand that the way they begin isn't actually the way they must end. For them, they avoid locking themselves into someone else's patterns. Should they have an argument in the morning or hold on to the until nightfall? No, this group understands that our days are not run by hot words. Rather, the way they go forward offers them chances to grow even more. So they welcome the soft glow of a new day, promising one another that the most urgent thing is to tackle obstacles, to move beyond rather than lunge more baggage around them. Challenge yourself to start each day as a promise rather than a problem. Ooh, isn't that huge? Welcome They welcome the soft glow of this new day, promising one another that the most urgent thing is to tackle obstacles and move beyond rather than luggage around. That was pretty poignant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of that and send it to you because there's some little whispers of words in there that I think if you read it yourself, Veronica, that it will hit home for you. So that's daybreak. Okay. So I'm going to put that in there. So if you on Instagram would like a card, please, or if anybody else who's watching, please put out there what you'd like. So Bev, you want fairies? Okay, so fairies. I love fairies. This is for Bev. Okay, Bev, time to put in your intention of what you would like the cards to, and even if it's just a message. Now, remember, if you're watching or listening and you don't want a card reading, sometimes the cards that are pulled are for you too. There's a message for anybody and everybody in every card. Okay, this is for Bev. This is for Bev. Woo! 2 right here. Okay, so you get 2. So you got easy does it, and everything is going to be okay. Easy does it, and everything is going to be okay. So don't worry. Okay, so the easy does it. Stop trying so hard to control everything, and all doors will open up for you. Bev, I kind of feel like that's around your home because you go outside your home a lot, right? So the easy does it, and then everything will be okay. Don't worry, it's all working out to be in a beautiful way. So remember, Bev, that your home is a magical place that is going to be created. So easy does it. Let's go to that one. Easy does it. The fairies want you to say, stop trying so hard to control everything and all doors will open up for you. Just as a dolphin rides the waves with joy and ease, so will the waves of your life carrying you if you just relax and let everything flow. You drew this card because you've been trying to focus something to happen. And the underlying fear has created blocks and barriers for you. Take some time to go outside in nature and help you relax. Let go of the situation and watch how quickly everything you desire occurs. Additional meaning is relax, have faith, go play, connect with dolphins, take sea salt bath, go for a swim, and get out of your own way. And I'm sorry that the Mariners lost. I know you're a dear friend. You have a lot of connection with the Mariners, and ugh. So everything will be okay is the next card for you, Bev, and I will everything EV. Oh, next card. Everything is okay. The fairies know that concerned about the outcome of this situation. So they sent this card to you as reassurance that everything will working out in divinely perfect way. Take steps to uplift your outlook and unburden your heart and mind, such as taking nature walks, spending time with loved ones, exercising, enjoying creative projects. The more you can stay centered and filled with faith, the better the outcome will express. So, additional meaning of this card: write down your concerns on paper and then ceremoniously dispose of the list by burning it, pouring water over it, or burying it. Take the to the people involved in order talk to the people involved in order to double check your facts. Your worries may be based upon untrue assumptions. Make sure that you're getting enough rest and eating healthily. And physical strain can lead anxiety and exhaustion. And also, too, Bev, I feel this is attached to maybe someone that you care about that's in struggle right now. And, we have a lot of people that are struggling with our health and situations, and know that they are hugged with love by angels. Okay, so now I am going to do a card for everyone. And I am going to do this. This will be the theme for everyone. So this is the Path of the Soul. Woo! Huh. Those 4 came out. Didn't take long, did it? So 27, 7, 18, and 26. So we'll do the one that's on top. So number 27. So I got 4 cards to read here. Okay. So 27. This card represents doves. This card represents doves. The doves represent the circling from the old to the new. So this is a meaning for everyone. This is a card for everyone. So if you just pop on, remember you can ask for an oracle card. Okay, doves represent the circling from the old to the new. It is important to remember that you are not alone during these times in your spiritual journey. The doves are here to remind you to allow the peace and love of nature you through this time of change. You will receive the energy and strength to do what needs to be done. You are fully supported. Know that it's okay to ask for support you need. The cycle will end soon and will experience full bounty and beauty of this wonderful growth. So, endings to new beginnings, it sounds like. Okay, number 7. This card's beautiful. Bull Guide. Bull Guide. Isn't that beautiful? Oops, lots of light. Bull Guide. The Bull Guide appears to offer you strength as you move through your life. He imparts the teachings and wisdoms of standing strong and firm when you need to, and not allow others to cross your personal boundaries. Look at all the situations happening around you at this time. Bull Guide is here to help you be firm wherever and whenever you need it. He wants to remind you that you are strong and you are deeply supported as you find your way to your own self-empowerment. Find your way to your own self-empowerment. Isn't that the way? Okay, 18 is the next card. So this is a collective card for everyone. Renewal. Renewal is this card. Spirals represent healing energy. This card is calling to repair and heal within your relationship, especially family. You are being asked to look for the good in those closely surrounding you. It is time to create new dynamics within your relationships. This card will provide you with the healing power to do this. See the gifts you have been given in your relationships with others. Look for God within everyone. Send your gratitude to all who are close to you. Not only will you experience a renewal within the relationship, but within your heart as well. Wow. Gratitude does make a difference. Gratitude does make a difference. Okay, 26. Get to 26 here. Okay. Third eye. Third eye. Third eye. Wow. That feels good. Third eye rules psychic abilities and clairvoyance. Although every human is born with the ability to see beyond the known, it does not mean they always access it. Your intuitional gifts and abilities are very strong. When this card appears, it is because you are ready to move to the next level of development in your inner seeing. Intuitive development is important for your growth at this time. Expanding your gifts not only benefits you, but it also aids those who need guidance and support. You can prove from source. Wow. And I can guarantee that all of us are becoming more in tuned with our lives, and becoming our truer self means to trust our inner wisdom, our inner self, and when we trust that inner self. So with that, the messages was, you know, go outside in nature for the birth to rebirth process. Also about being kind to yourself in gratitude. Come back to center, and to know that you trust your inner gut, inner feelings, those inner knowings. So today, I'm asking you to know that you are deeply, deeply loved. And as you go forward and as you move forward, and Bev, I hope that those cards made sense to you for you too, that there is these gifts of wisdom coming as we move forward. And the more that I'm going to say this again, the more that we try to put on a persona, put on another mask for those around us, the more we lose ourselves. And right now in our life, it's time to find ourselves. It's time to believe in ourselves. It's time to find that joy in ourselves. And I can tell you, the more you do that, the more in sync you'll be with your life. And the more that you'll find that comes to you in your life, because the universe isn't going to give somebody fakeness. They're going to give somebody those things that are truer to themselves. When you walk the talk and you do the calling, because I can tell you, me working my spirituality through thick and thin has made me a stronger person. And I hope that your belief in yourself can help you get through your thick and thin and these life-altering experiences that we're going through. Blessings to you. Please remember that if you like what you see, please like and share. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel also, please. And remember, if you know of somebody who only listens to podcasts, all these shows are being put on podcasts, and they're on most podcasts. I haven't gotten on iTunes yet because I haven't gotten through their wall yet. But I'm getting through. I'm on iReady. I'm on a lot of different platforms. So know that everybody is here and and doing their better. So if you know somebody, please have them reach out for life clarifications on Life Clarifications by Natasha. And I will see you on Monday. And on Monday, Regan and I are going to talk about willingness to work through anxiety. So Monday show at 4:00 Pacific time on YouTube and Facebook, and on Instagram I will not be on. I'll be on again on Wednesday. So, but you can find me on my YouTube channel or Facebook. Thank you all. Blessings to you. May you have a blessed week, and the roller coaster ride that we're on, may that you put your seatbelt on and go for the fun ride, not the icky ride. Blessings. Bye now.